If you're getting up 2, 3, 4 times a night, tonight can be different. I'm going to show you 5 simple exercises you do right on your bed. And these are not the same exercises you've seen before. No calf raises, no legs on the wall. If you've tried those and you're still waking up, it's because there's a deeper layer your body needs. And these 5 movements hit exactly that. Here's what's actually happening. During the day, fluid collects in your legs. At night, when you lie down, that fluid rushes back to your kidneys and fills your bladder. That's one problem. But there's a second one most people miss. Your pelvic floor, the muscle that controls your bladder, gets tight and overactive with age. It starts sending false, full signals even when your bladder is only half full. These 5 exercises fix both problems. They drain the fluid while you're still awake, and they calm down that overactive muscle. Do these tonight and tell me in the comments tomorrow morning how many times you got up. I want to see your numbers. Let's start with exercise number 5. Exercise number 5, the warm-up flush. We're starting with a self-massage, but not the one you've seen before. We're not touching the calves. We're going higher, to the inner thigh. Your inner thighs, the muscles doctors call the adductors, sit right on top of some of the largest lymphatic and venous channels in your body. Think of these channels as highways that carry fluid from your legs back to your core. When this area is tight or congested, and it usually is if you sit for long periods, fluid gets bottlenecked. Your calves may be clear, but everything gets stuck on the way up. This massage opens the highway before we start pumping. Here's what to do. Sit on your bed or in a chair. Cross one ankle over the opposite knee so your inner thigh is exposed and relaxed. Use both palms, flat hands, not fingertips, and press firmly into the inner thigh, starting just above the knee. Now glide your hands upward toward your groin in one long, steady stroke. Firm pressure, not painful, but you should feel the tissue moving under your hands. Do 6 to 8 passes on one leg, then switch. After the long strokes, use your thumbs or knuckles to make small, slow circles along that same inner thigh line. Spend extra time on any spots that feel tight or tender. 10 to 15 seconds per spot is enough. 2 important rules. First, always go upward, from knee toward body. Never push downward. You're directing fluid toward your lymph nodes, not away from them. Second, don't rush this. Slow, steady pressure is what moves deep fluid. Quick rubbing only affects the skin surface. When you finish both legs, you may feel warmth spreading through your thighs. That's circulation opening up. Good, the highways are clear. Now we start moving. Exercise number 4, ankle circles and toe pumps. Now that the pathways are open, we're going to start pumping from the bottom up. Everyone talks about the calf muscle as the pump that pushes fluid out of your legs, and it is important. But there's another pump below it that most people completely ignore, the venous pump in your foot. Every time you flex and rotate your foot, you activate a network of small veins in the sole of your foot and around your ankle that pushes blood upward. It's like stepping on a sponge over and over. Each squeeze sends fluid toward your heart. Sit comfortably with your back supported. Lift one foot slightly off the floor. Now make slow, wide circles with that ankle. 5 circles to the right, then 5 circles to the left. Make them as big and smooth as you can. Then switch sides and do the same with the other foot. You should feel the ankle joint loosening and a gentle activation through the shin and calf. Now switch to toe pumps. Point your toes away from you, like you're pressing a gas pedal. Then pull them back toward your shins as far as you can. Hold each position for 1 second. Do 15 of these. You should feel a gentle pulling along the back of your lower leg. The common mistake here is making the circles too small and too fast. Slow, wide, deliberate. That's what opens the valves and moves the most fluid. If your ankles crack or feel stiff at first, that's normal. They'll loosen up after the first few circles. Good. Your feet and ankles are now actively pumping. Let's move up the chain. Exercise number 3, supine marching. Lie on your back on your bed. Bend your knees, feet flat on the mattress. Now slowly lift your right knee toward your chest, not all the way, just to a comfortable height. Then lower it back down. Now lift your left knee. Alternate, like you're marching in slow motion while lying on your back. Each time you lift a knee, your hip flexors compress the veins and lymph channels in your groin. That's the main junction where fluid from your legs re-enters your core circulation. At the same time, your calf on the lifted leg contracts slightly to stabilize the movement. So you're activating both the hip pump and the calf pump with every single rep. Do 20 repetitions, 10 on each side. Keep the pace slow, about 2 seconds to lift, 2 seconds to lower. Breathe naturally. If this feels easy, here's a progression. As you lift each knee, flex your foot, pull your toes toward your shin. Now you're activating the foot pump, the calf pump, and the hip pump all in one movement. 3 pumps in one. The mistake to avoid: don't go fast. This isn't a fitness exercise. If you rush, you lose the pumping effect and it becomes a core workout instead. Slow and deliberate is what moves fluid. After 20 reps, keep your knees bent and rest for 30 seconds. You may notice that your legs already feel lighter. That's fluid moving toward your kidneys, exactly where we want it. Exercise number 2, the bridge with hold. This is the peak of our routine. It does something none of the other exercises can. It works your pelvic floor and improves venous return from your legs at the same time. Stay lying on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the bed about hip width apart. Arms relaxed at your sides. Now, as you breathe out slowly through your mouth, gently press through your heels and lift your hips off the bed. You don't need to go high, just enough that your body makes a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Think of a small bridge. Here's the key part. At the top, hold for 5 seconds. While you hold, gently engage your pelvic floor. Imagine you're trying to stop the flow of urine, a light contraction, not a hard clench. You should feel a gentle lift in your lower pelvic area. Then slowly lower your hips back down as you breathe in. Let everything relax completely. Wait 3 seconds, then repeat. Do 8 repetitions. Let me explain why this is so effective. When your hips are elevated, gravity helps drain fluid from your legs toward your torso, similar to leg elevation, but with an added benefit. Your glute muscles and hamstrings are actively contracting, which squeezes the large veins in your thighs and pelvis and pushes blood upward even more efficiently than gravity alone. At the same time, holding the pelvic floor contraction at the top teaches that muscle to work properly. For many people over 60, the pelvic floor becomes either too weak or too tight, and both cause bladder problems. The bridge teaches the muscle to activate and then fully release. This contract and release cycle is what restores healthy bladder control. 2 mistakes to avoid. First, don't hold your breath. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you lower. The breath and the pelvic floor are connected. Holding your breath creates pressure that works against what we're trying to do. Second, don't clench your glutes as hard as you can. This is not a gym exercise. Moderate effort. The goal is activation, not exhaustion. Good. We've drained the fluid. We've trained the pelvic floor. Now it's time to calm everything down. And exercise number 1, the most important one. I call it the bladder calmer. This is not just another breathing exercise. This is a specific technique that targets the connection between your diaphragm and your pelvic floor, a connection that controls how your bladder behaves at night. Here's what most people don't understand. Your pelvic floor and your diaphragm move together. When you breathe in deeply, your diaphragm pushes down and your pelvic floor gently drops. When you breathe out, your diaphragm lifts and your pelvic floor lifts with it. They're connected like the top and bottom of a piston. But in many people over 60, this coordination breaks down. The pelvic floor gets stuck in a tight, clenched position. It forgets how to relax. And a tight pelvic floor does 2 things. It puts constant pressure on the bladder, and it makes the bladder overreact to small amounts of urine. Your bladder sends the go now signal when it's only half full, because the muscle around it never lets go. This exercise retrains that coordination. It teaches the pelvic floor to release deeply, so your bladder can hold more and the false alarms stop. Here's how to do it. Stay lying on your back from the bridge, knees bent. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, just below your navel. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. As you breathe in, your belly should rise. Your chest should stay almost still. But here's the part most people miss. As your belly rises, I want you to consciously let your pelvic floor drop. Imagine the entire base of your pelvis softening and opening downward, like an elevator going to the ground floor. Now breathe out slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. Purse your lips slightly. As you exhale, feel your belly fall and feel your pelvic floor gently lift. naturally, not forced. Like that elevator slowly rising one floor. That's one cycle. We're going to do 8 cycles. In through the nose, belly rises, pelvic floor drops. Out through the mouth, belly falls, pelvic floor lifts. The key is the word gentle. You're not squeezing, you're not forcing, you are allowing the movement to happen. The pelvic floor should feel like it's floating up and down with your breath, not clenching and releasing. After 8 cycles, stay lying down for a minute. Keep breathing naturally. Most people feel a sense of deep relaxation in their lower abdomen, a feeling of everything softening and letting go. Some people tell me it's the first time they've felt their pelvic floor actually relax. This is the exercise I want you to do every single night, right before you close your eyes. It takes less than 2 minutes, and over 1 to 2 weeks, it retrains your bladder's sensitivity. The false alarms get quieter, the gaps between trips to the bathroom get longer, and your sleep gets deeper. One note, this is different from the 4-7-8 breathing technique you may have seen. That technique is designed to help you fall asleep. This one is specifically designed to release your pelvic floor. The counting is different, the focus is different, the purpose is different. Both are valuable, but this one targets the bladder directly. All right, here's your routine. And timing matters, so pay attention. The first 4 exercises, the massage, the ankle circles, the marching, and the bridge, do these about 60 to 90 minutes before bed. Not 5 minutes before, not right at bedtime. You need that window because after these 4 exercises, your body will have moved a lot of fluid back into your system. You need time for your kidneys to process it. So here's the order. About 90 minutes before bed, inner thigh massage, 2 minutes, opens the pathways. Ankle circles and toe pumps, 1 minute, start pumping from the bottom. Supine marching, 2 minutes, pump from the whole leg. Bridge with hold, 2 minutes, drain and activate the pelvic floor. That's about 7 minutes of work. After that, go about your evening. Read, watch television, talk with your family. Your kidneys are doing their job in the background. Then, and this is important, go to the bathroom before bed. And a quick reminder for those of you who've been watching this channel for a while. I always recommend sitting down on the toilet for this, even for men. There's no shame in it. Sitting naturally relaxes your pelvic floor, and that's exactly what we need after the work we just did. When the pelvic floor is relaxed, your bladder can empty more completely. And use the double voiding technique. Go once, stay seated, wait 20 to 30 seconds, lean forward slightly, then try again. You'll almost always find there's a little more. Those extra ounces are exactly the ones that would have woken you up at 2 a.m. Get them out now, on your schedule. Now, the bladder calmer. This one is different. This is the only exercise you do right before sleep. After you've used the bathroom, get into bed, get comfortable, and do your 8 breathing cycles right there. This is your last thing before you close your eyes. And honestly, some people tell me they don't even make it through all 8 cycles. They fall asleep somewhere around the 5th or 6th breath. And I always tell them, that might be the best compliment this exercise has ever received. Now, 2 quick bonus tips that aren't exercises, but can make a real difference alongside this routine. First, if you take blood pressure medication or a water pill, check what time you take it. If you take it in the evening, it may be forcing your kidneys to work overtime at night. Ask your doctor if you can switch to mornings. That one change alone can eliminate a trip to the bathroom. Second, look at the sodium in your dinner. Salty food in the evening makes your body hold extra water, and your kidneys release it while you sleep. Check the label. If your dinner is over 600 milligrams of sodium, that may be part of your problem. Keep the salty meals earlier in the day. These 2 tips combined with the exercises can make a dramatic difference. Now I need your help. Try this routine tonight. Tomorrow morning, drop a comment and tell me, how many times did you get up? Give me a number. And then come back in 1 week and give me the new number. I want to see the change. I read every comment, and your results help other people believe this can work for them too. If someone you care about is dealing with this, send them this video. This is the kind of thing that changes when someone just shows you what to do. Subscribe if you haven't. We share practical, no-nonsense guides like this every week. Sleep well tonight. You've earned it.